Hey, Brian Boyle here, and welcome to episode 184 of The Mesh Tongue. Today I'm going to talk to you about how to avoid the pre-race sickness that seems to get a lot of you out there. We'll talk about that when we get back. So welcome to episode 184 of The Mesh Tongue. Brian Boyle here. In case you don't know who I am, it's been a little while that we're putting a few of these out here and there, but it's not as intense a schedule as we've had. I'm a physical therapist, I'm a runner, I'm a coach, I do a lot of different things. I'm a husband, a father, but most of all I enjoy putting these videos out there so we can get the content to you so that you can stay where you want to be, which is out running and not coming in to see me here in the clinic. So today I want to talk to you about how are we going to avoid that pre-race sickness. I can tell you this, I've had it myself plenty of times. What does this mean? So it's not like the pre-race jitters where your stomach's all cramped up. I'm talking about the flu, I'm talking about the stomach bugs, I'm talking about the sore throats, the aches and pains that happen to us after a nice long training season and just right before the big race. 1999 into 2000, I'm running, and I'm running lots and lots of miles. I'm training for the Marine Corps Marathon. I had a great spring, great summer. I'm heading into Marine Corps. As you know, it's in October. Beautiful time of the year to be down in DC and Arlington area. I've been training fantastically, doing great. It's the 25th anniversary Marine Corps Marathon. What happens the Wednesday before? I come down with this sickness, probably the flu. Wednesday I'm out, Thursday I'm out, Friday I'm out, Saturday I just start to come alive and feel myself. Sunday go out and halfway, into the marathon, I'm in 50th place out of 50,000. I'm feeling pretty good, but I'm not feeling great, right? I mean, I've been sick. I had the flu the last 4 or 5 days, but I'm all right. I'm on pace to hit 240 in the marathon. Everything is going great until it doesn't. Okay, until it doesn't. And at 17, I find a porta-john and I just tap out. Mentally, physically, all of the above. If you've been there before, you know what I'm talking about. Why does this happen? Why does this happen? For years and years and years, I beat myself up over this. Just about the time, for cross-country nationals in college, just about the time for, other big events, I would get sick. And what I found, and I've seen a lot of stuff out there on the internet that, a lot of videos where people are like, well, you need to get more rest, you need to eat, you need to do this, this, this. What I've actually found when I started doing more research on this is that if you do these things where you change your schedule, you taper, your body gets the signal. Your body gets the signal that it's okay to get sick because it senses that you're no longer needed somewhere. Because guess what? You go from training, maybe it's 65 to 85 miles a week, maybe it's more, maybe it's 120, okay, down to maybe 50% of that, figuring you're going to taper before for those fresh legs. Well, the body senses that, hey, you're sleeping a little longer, okay, you're not under as much stress with cortisol levels, okay, you're adapting to something different. So the body says, well, I couldn't get sick during all this other time because I was in this ramped up state. Now it's okay to get sick. So what I'm telling you to do is not go into that significant a taper. Now this is strange, right? Okay, and there are some people that this won't bother and they don't get these pre-race sicknesses and they do just fine. But I'm telling you, majority of people get sick and it has nothing to do necessarily with what they were training or what there was going on. Because of this fact that your body now senses that things are okay to get sick. So how do we do this? So maybe the taper isn't as drastic, or if it is, okay, you're still getting up at the same time. If you wake up at 4:30 in the morning to get your training in, even if you're not going to be training as much, still get up at 4:30. Stay on that schedule. The body's great at sensing change, guys. I mean, it really is. Maybe it's more of an active rest. Maybe now it's more stretching. Maybe you're doing a kind of a cross between, still doing your cardio. Maybe it's some swimming, some pool running, some low impact. Maybe it's cycling. Whatever it may be. Maybe it's more the stretching and kind of hydration and such. But I would be amiss if I didn't say this. Okay, literally, whatever you do, if you can avoid going into that significant taper and changing the entire schedule, I think you're going to be that much better off. And I've seen this time and time again where we've done this with our athletes here. We've had them not go into that significant of a taper. Even if we say, hey, let's go down by 10 or 20%, the body doesn't sense that much. Okay, it doesn't go in with this crazy like, hey, I should get sick now. all right? And if you notice, if you go back to your training log, there's times where you're like, hey, I've been in a high level of training and I've done really well in those races mid-season, but they weren't where you were trying to get to post-season, okay? Or at the end of that macro cycle, as we talk about, I think you're gonna notice that you didn't get sick, you weren't sick because the body was just keep going. So, again, stay hydrated, get your nutrition, keep on your same schedule. I think you're gonna be that much better off. Hey, if you've got any questions, you can send them to me, Brian, B-R-I-A-N, at company5k.com. Be happy to get those answered and get those back to you. All those folks that are going to be running Boston in the next week, let's not do the significant taper. Let's not go into something crazy where you're like, hey, I'm going to just cut back 40, 50%, unwind a little bit, but don't go too crazy there. Keep the cardio up. And until next time, please don't go hurting yourself to come back. We'll see you again. All right, take care.